Just sitting here thinking about how I went to singles night at church and it was hundreds. I mean, at least 1,000. First I thought it was 500, but the pastor said it was 1,000 singles in attendance. Like, are we all living the same life at this point? Because I've never been in a room with that many single people, or even thought that it was even, I thought I was like the only one left. I mean, beautiful women. All types, shapes, and sizes. Literally African-American women. Like, a room full of singles. And I'm like, this has to be an experiment. Just sitting here thinking, experiment. Like, this has to be like assimilation. Is that the word I want to use? I think so. Like, I'm confused. And I'm like low-key, like nervous. Like, for us. Wish it for myself, y'all. Because where are the men? Where are the men? Then again, don't know. Never mind. Don't. We know where they at.
Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Yahweh being the true name of Heavenly Father. Yahushai being named for His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, a great millstone, that taught us truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful that pushing this truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Buddy Awasap. Hope you know lesson to the spirit power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is an in-transit lesson through the spirit. Another update on times and events. Hey, we told you so is just becoming such a huge understatement, man. Not only did we tell you so what's going on in this war in this world, but we told you so what's happening with these women and the value of men. We keep telling y'all the stock is going up, the price of men is going up, and the price of women, or the perceived value of women, is plummeting. You know, you even got a lot of phrases that's floating around social media of no simping. You know, a lot of men are starting to catch on to that term, simping, you know, which basically means to be a woman's kiss ass and to go over head over heels for her and to try to please her, wine and dine her, you know, and spend money on her in a date in hopes that she chooses you and allows you to lay down with her. Those days are over with, man. You know, like, there is still a few simps, but it's no longer thousands of them. So it doesn't support the demand that women want. They want thousands of simps. You know, that's hence why you have thousands of black women that went to, yet here we have another report of another singles event. This is the second time that this has came out. I did a lesson on this a month ago. Here's another video that came out, and this was a different event. Listen to this.
Outside of the people servicing tables at this place. So eventually I get the courage to go sit down with a group of girls at a table, and I'm like, yo, what are they at? Like, where are they? I know I'm late. Like, is there some sort of game going on where the men are in one room and the women are in another room? They're like, oh girl, you just got here, you must not have heard. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, basically about an hour ago, she came downstairs, took all the men, 10. Keep in mind, there's like 85 women and 10 men. She got the 10 men to choose the women that they wanted to come upstairs with them. So the 10 men out of 85 women chose 10 women to take upstairs.
You already know. They brought up their 9s and 10s right upstairs. And the big backs, nickel backs, hard backs, Big Macs. Yeah, they were downstairs. Okay, the roly polies. Yeah, the baby back ribs. Yeah, they were downstairs. Yo, wow. This sounds like a humiliation ritual. It really does.
That's where they did the speed dating upstairs, while everybody else was downstairs looking at each other. Everybody was on their phones. Everybody was looking around like, what the hell is this? I have never been so uncomfortable in my entire life. The mismanagement where to start. This was a ticketed event, so the event owners knew, hey, we have 85 women RSVP'd and only 10 men. They knew that this was a problem going into the event. This was not a surprise.
I don't care what city you're in, it's not going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, there's definitely going.
All right, so there you have it. And now you have this chick giving out a similar testimony. And this time she said it was thousands, man. So the last singles events, that took place in February, you got hundreds of men, hundreds of women to like dozens of men at these events. And now it done jumped up within a matter of a month. Now it's at the point to where it's thousands. And guess what? Who's all at these events? Black women. Nobody wants you no more. This is what happens when you spend your whole life constantly punching, the message that you don't need a man and you're independent, and how much you hate us, how much we're this, how much we're that, how we're broke. So you got what you asked for. Okay, because we're sick of it, man. We are done being abused. You women, you black women, you are abusive. You're abusive, man. I could tell by this woman's countenance, she's extremely abusive and toxic. Look at the damn tattoos going all down her damn neck and chest. Ghetto hood rat nails, black lips, the resting bitch face. She has an attitude problem. See how she flipping her weave, the fake hair? Like, y'all stink. You don't smell good. You're not feminine. You have an attitude problem. And for so many years, you've been getting by where men have been drooling over you because you have the best figure out of most women in the world. Yeah, y'all, I got to give it to you. Both, out of most women of the world, Israelite women, black, Latino, and Native American, hands down, be the most beautiful. Like, you got other beautiful nations too out there, the heathens, but when it comes to you guys like tapping into your true feminine side and actually being clean, and like if you didn't have the attitude, you are the visually for most attractive. So men have, constantly simped to want to lay down with you, but now men are waking up to the catch. And the catch is, once you get the snatch, you're going to deal with toxic behavior. You're going to deal with narcissism, which is actually very dangerous. Men lose their lives over narcissistic people. And most narcissists are black women. And we're talking about the American ones, man. So now you're seeing the product of your actions. You wanted to be away from us so bad, so now you got what you asked for. And some of them are trying to go towards white men, but white men aren't attracted to that. They just want to be in the mindset of sleeping with you, but white men already made it. They're in their kingdom. They're in their heaven. So they're going to want a heavenly appearance of a heavenly woman, not a demonic one. But you look at women like this, look at her countenance and this attitude. Look at that face right there with that move right there, that special trademark move. Throwing a hand up, shaking their head. It's so unattractive, man. Okay? It doesn't matter how pretty you are. Because don't get me wrong, the woman is pretty in the face. I'm not going to cap. She's gorgeous in the face. And that's just me, my opinion. And my taste in particular, I do like a lot of, dealing with Judite women. I have a child by a Judite woman. The first woman I ever popped was a Judite woman. That's just me particularly. My tastes have been, the Judite women. I like them a little bit light skinned or a little bit light brown. That's been my taste, And I like the Latino women. I like all Israelite women, period, how beautiful they are. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying y'all are ugly. Yeah, y'all are cute, but cute doesn't cut it no more. Nobody gives a shit about cute. Men are choosing peace, okay, and something that they can build a future with over just cute. And dealing with our women in general has caused so much pain and heartbreak and misery, man. Like, y'all break up homes. You're so quick. You're not loyal at all. And your definition of loyal is if you choose to be with a man, and that stops there. We look at loyal as if you choose to stay with them permanently, not for a temporary timeline that y'all set mentally for yourselves until you get bored of this guy, and then you want to go to the next one and go, because you used to go into events like this and just having the pick or choose. You just, as long as you got an ass, a little waist, and a cute face, y'all been getting played. But now men are saying fuck it. They're just avoiding the black women altogether. And you brung this upon yourself, man. You brought this upon yourself. So the Lord is making, us the gold for many years, decades now. Going into like the 80s, you had a lot of simp behavior. You came into music. That's really what spiraled it out of control. Is that 80s and 90s generation. They were pushing, crying over the woman and going head over heels over her, trying to do what you can, and baby take me back, and I love you, and all this. Now you don't hear none of them type of songs no more. Now you hear songs of F this bitch. You hear a lot of songs of men singing about how much they're heartbroken. Fuck a bitch, fuck getting married. That's the new trend coming out. Why? Because men are fed up, man. Y'all put us on child support. You take our homes and the divorces. We come home and you're in bed with another man. You revenge cheat. You get out there when you get mad, a man wants to leave you. You go lay in bed with another man quick. When you're supposed to be with that one man for life. You're supposed to work out your troubles and issues and still rock with him. But y'all don't. You put your hands on him. Police have to get involved when dealing with you. So yeah, now you got events where you got thousands of y'all looking for a man and can't get him. And then you're trying to advertise yourself to white men, but you've always just been the slave spoils to white man. Not the slave wife. They don't want to wife you up like that. Not unless you're really, really, really fine. Like superior supermodel fine. Not just, oh, I'm cute, I know I'm cute. And you mentally self-inflate yourself. You over-exaggerate your worth. And you think you're that fine. But no, I'm talking about literally like to points to where people have came up and said, hey, look, I'll pay you to be a supermodel on this runway. And you model my outfits. And you got the body to go with it. Unless you with that, white men ain't looking at that. And there's too many of y'all that do have that kind of figure. So they would rather just go with a peace of mind of a woman that's not in the Israelite curses, that aren't going to be judged by their family members for dealing with y'all. They're not wifing y'all up. So now you want to come back and you want to look around, look for an Israelite man. But you fucked up too much, man. You've broken apart too many families. A great percentage of y'all, a high percentage of y'all, you have kids by like 3 different guys. You broke up one marriage with one guy, broke up another one with another guy, or you choose a hood rat thug because you're attracted to evil and wickedness. That's what gets y'all's wet, And you have a child with that guy, and of course he's not going to be loyal to you because he's not a man. He's a little boy that wants to be a rapper or a thug, and you thought that shit was attractive, so you laid up with him, spread your snatch, and got pregnant. And then you did it multiple times. And so you're bringing all this to the table for another man to take on. And then you have some men that did take you on and actually accepted the other kids as his own, but you're so abusive and toxic and disrespectful, you run them off. You cheat on them. You put your hands on him, you destroy his property, his things, you try busting the windows out the car, keying shit, damaging his home and property, kicking in doors, busting windows. What part of that do you think is attractive? When men could just go get a soft, feminine white girl or Asian girl. or East Indian girl, or any of these other nation women that aren't going to do none of those things. That's just going to make him feel loved. That's actually going to cook for him and rub his feet and massage him and clean his house without any attitude or demands or expectation that he needs to pay her lifestyle. Tired of it, man. Men are tired of it, and it shows. This is Isaiah 13:12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So men are becoming the prize, and you're seeing it. Okay? So the men are becoming the prize. The value of man is continuing to rise and go up. If you want any chance of making it, you're going to have to start learning to get in the mindset of the women of old, of the ancient time, biblical times, which the women of those times were cool with this. This is Isaiah 4:1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Okay? Here's another translation in the NLT. In that day, so few men will be left. You see what's happening at these events? Few men, right? So few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. Okay, so you're going to have to share. Polygamy is coming back in a big way. That's the natural biblical way, is you have men have multiple wives. You're never supposed to be jealous of another girl. You're never supposed to be all heartbroken because he got another woman. You're supposed to be in the mindset of Sarah, how she was towards her husband Abraham, and give him a concubine, or go help give him a wife. Share, man. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they all had multiple wives. And those wives, guess what? They treated each other as sisters. They supported one another. And they supported the entire family. And they all supported their husband together. So most of y'all break up, and your excuse for leaving is, oh, he got another girl. Or he isn't tall enough. Or his rod isn't big enough. Or he doesn't make over 6 figures a year. Or he doesn't pay all of my bills while he's sleeping with me. So, but what did this scripture say? These women are coming with their own shit. They just want to be married. You see? So if you're going to want a husband, you're going to have to adopt that mindset, man. You're going to have to get rid of all the toxic behavior you got. All the aggressiveness, all the bitterness. You're going to have to squash that shit because you're losing your opportunity to have anybody. And the thing that you're holding on to, which you're comfortable with losing, men, some of y'all are comfortable with just being alone as long as you got money coming in, working a job. You're losing your jobs too, because we're in World War III, man. This economy about to go down, and there's hundreds and thousands of jobs being cut every month. Layoffs left and right, left and right, left and right. So that's about to be gone. Listen, you have to understand your purpose, man. The purpose that Yahweh created a woman. He said, it's not good for a man to be alone. I will make a helpmeet unto him. You're supposed to be a helpmeet. That's your nature. You're supposed to be nurturing. Okay? You're supposed to bear the kids, the children. You're supposed to submit to your husband and everything. You're not the prize. A lot of y'all think we're supposed to submit to you and your program and help you accomplish your goals and dreams of your education goals, your degree goals, your job goals, and your business goals. No, you're supposed to meet your husband's goals, and you support that, and automatically you reap the benefits of that because he's going to take care of his wife. Nobody's going to leave you high and dry. If this man's setting up a business, he's going to establish his business and make sure you're good to go. You know, but a lot of y'all, you want to compete with him. Well, he doing this, I need to do it too. So just in case he leave, I'm cool with having my own shit. That mental backup plan is demonic. You're not serving your purpose, man. Women that have a good vision, a good dream, they're gonna make it. You know, I was just conducting business with a couple yesterday, man. You know, and I think she's an Ishmael chick, and she's very feminine. You know, feminine woman. I met her and her husband. You know, and her husband, I think he might be Esau. He could be Jake. But I think he's probably Esau, you know, but she was in her right mind towards him. You know, first she asked me questions because I was conducting business when we met. And I was like, why is she speaking and he's not speaking? But the field that she worked in is happened to be where I was conducting business at. So she was with him and he was right there, but he was with, you know, what she was doing because it was bringing him money. Come to find out, he's the fucking, he's basically the one that financed the whole restaurant. He bought a restaurant. She's just a head chef. You know, but she supports him. And by her being in order, you know, she's able to shine. So her skill set is bringing it in, but he's the brains behind the operation financially. You know? And that's how it's supposed to be. But a lot of y'all just want to take over. The Israelite woman, man, she's just backwards. She wants to run. The Willie Lynch letters did a real number on y'all. And the Willie Lynch letters' goal was to destroy the Israelite woman and the Israelite man being together. And that's the Latino and the Native American women too. The goal was to make y'all not dependent of us. They demasculated us, did butt breaking. You know, you had the slaves having their way with the men's wives. And that carried on after slavery ended. The mentality remained for hundreds of years. It wasn't as bad in the 60s and 50s and 60s. You know, you had black families staying together. But as soon as drugs started being introduced and Section 8 and food stamps like in the 70s, late 60s and 70s, you started seeing our women trickling out that they didn't need their men. Start hearing more cases of fighting, them leaving to go get the government assistance, and them having the freedom to pick and choose however men they wanted. So then that carried on. Now here we are in 2026. And now you got a room full of 1,000 black women and none of the men want you. Just a handful of men there. You know, and now you see what's going on social media is the whole hashtag passport bros. Brothers, Jake, man, they're getting more money saved up. They take their little chains that normally they would have to spend wasting on you and taking care of you and kids that ain't his. They're putting in their own pocket and they're getting on a plane and they're going overseas and they're dealing with a fine-ass Filipino bitch. Or they're going to Thailand and getting them a Thai woman. Or Cambodia, getting them a Cambodia woman. Or they're going to Europe, Germany, getting them a woman that's German. Or going to Italy, getting an Italian girl. And they're going to all these countries. They're not even looking at y'all, man. And there could be a dime walking past them. And they just be like, nah. Want me a cute little Asian girl. She's not going to give me problems. You know? So, hey, this prophecy is coming to pass, Isaiah 4:1. You see the build up for it. You're going to have to fight over one man. And that's what you get. And you can't stop Bible prophecy anyway. If it's in the scriptures you read about it, it's going to happen. So we're just seeing it play out. Women, you need to repent, man. Because these times coming in, America's at war. There will be attacks on U.S. soil. And you're going to wish, when you hear those sirens going off in the sky, they're going to be those tornado sirens. You're going to hear the wavering tone. You know what the wavering tone is? The same wavering tone you hear when you watch it on TikTok and Instagram of all these videos of Iran bombing Israel. You hear the alarm going off? That's what you're about to hear in the United States. You're going to see the missiles in the sky too. And you're going to wish you had protection. You can't protect yourself. You're going to need a man, a husband. And you're going to wish that you hadn't dogged out men your whole life. Because that's what y'all spent your whole life doing. Trying to prove to the world that you don't need a man and dogging good men out. Because you felt that you're entitled to an NFL player or a doctor. And some of y'all get the NFL player and doctor, and then you cheat on him with another motherfucker on the team. Because you're not satisfying your whores. So call all your Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We seeing judgment and the downfall of Eve. I'm seeing news reports left and right of Eve losing her life. Like, look at this, man. Women are being unalived left and right, man. You know, and this is the judgment of the Heavenly Father. And this is violent way. And I've seen like 3 or 4 posts this week of women that lost their lives. In this case, this Israelite woman, she got unalived, I believe, by her own brother. All that attitude and fighting up in the crib, man. The Lord can send a spirit of vengeance for somebody to become a murderer and take you out. And it's happening. They're getting kidnapped, abandoned. They're going to court, getting legal issues, losing custody of their kids. The Israelite woman, the Lord's on y'all's ass, man. And call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for it, because you're supposed to be setting the example of the nations, of all the other rest of the women on the earth to follow. And instead, you've been in the behavior of the bottom of the barrel. When you're going to wake up? This is Isaiah 32:9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters." Right, y'all are so careless, y'all don't give a fuck. That's one of the favorite phrases of a so-called black women. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's how y'all talk. Ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled. You got many days and years coming of extremely bad, hard times, troubling. Ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. The vintage, the good times, shall fail. And we're seeing the good times fall. The gathering shall not come. Meaning nobody's going to come gather you and want to be with you no more. So now you see it. Now you see it. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Okay? So this is spiritually talking about humble yourselves. Quit walking around here with your chin up high and mighty, click-clacking your high heels. You got your ankle bracelets on, all that goddamn jewelry, and you got clothes overflowing your closet that you don't even wear. You have a stank look on your face, a resting bitch face. Fix that shit. Quit wearing them goddamn long-ass eyelashes and all that gallons of makeup. You got your titties all out, cleavage out. Constantly sexually advertising yourself, but somebody approach you and start looking at you as if you're selling yourself, you get all offended. But you're the one walking around here naked. Quit wearing yoga pants. Cover your damn ass crack up. Cover your cooch print up. Nobody should see what your thighs, your pussy look like, or your ass, or your cleavage. That shit's supposed to be covered. Okay? Humble yourself. Sackcloth is a humbling experience. Put on modest apparel. That's how you respect yourself. Until y'all get it right, Israelite man ain't gonna deal with you. And you're about to be the victims very soon. Mass casualties in this war. It's up to you to get it, man. You know, so with that, Lord's will, lessons edify. I'm gonna close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, Tasha's truth and will, and salutations to Jehovah, like person's truth and honesty, sincerity. Shalom.